So at Kinexit, we are dedicated to working with teaching professionals, academies, and clubs. And what we do is we provide a very sophisticated but simple goal fitness platform that makes it really easy to implement and integrate game fitting into your business. So we've been working with academies and professionals for so many years. And we know that historically it's been quite complicated to work with goal fitness. It's been time consuming, it's taken quite a long time to work with, a lot of admin, and sometimes we don't feel very comfortable. So what we've done at Kinexit, and we've turned all these parts around, making sure that you feel very comfortable, you know exactly how to implement it, something that takes very little time and requires very little administration. Now, we have 3 simple steps of implementing goal fitness into your lesson experience. It all starts with the assessment and the screening. We then follow that up with the feedback and creating a plan, and then we have the drills and exercises we want the player to do. So the first step, the screening. Now, when it comes to a golfer, we look at all types of players, even tour players. When it comes to the swing, everyone swings their way. And when it comes, if we just look at these players, looking from the wrist and the shoulder, it looks very different. But from the shoulder down to the feet, it looks very similar. It all bases on around the concept of 3 planes of motion. Every player, every body can move in these different directions. We can move forwards and backwards, we can side bend, we can rotate. Now, when it comes to the golfer, we need to assess if a player can move in these planes of motion or if there are any type of limitations. Now imagine if you're trying to help a golfer and they can't rotate. What's going to happen? Well, we're going to start creating different patterns. We're going to start creating different movements that we might not want. Now, when it comes to this, we can either work around it or we can do something about it. Now, at Kinexit, we want to assess if the player is moving in these 3 planes of motion, but also are the different components of the body working as they're supposed to as well? Are the feet moving well enough? Are the hips moving? Is the thoracic spine moving? And then from there, we want to guide them through what they need to do. So at Kinexit, we're trying to scan for different limitations in the body. And apart from that, what's going to happen is Kinexit will look at, is a player able to move in the 3 planes of motion? Are they able to move in their thoracic spine, their hips, their feet? And also, we'll then provide the feedback and also the drills they need to improve. So at Kinexit, we have a wide variety of different types of screenings based on the situation. Well, we've got an express assessment that takes about 3 minutes to do. We've got our mobility assessment that takes about 12 minutes. That's more for a serious golfer, and a wide range of other tests as well. Now, our express assessment takes about 5 minutes, and what we're looking here is typical limitations of the body. It's composed of 5 tests, and you really don't need to leave the hitting bay. You can go very seamlessly from just a lesson, letting the player drop the club and working on their movements just the way we want them. Now, it's all based on these 5 tests. The first one is, are they able to tilt their pelvis? So basically, can they get into a golf position and can they tilt their pelvis forwards and backwards? Some players will be able to do this quite nicely. Some players will just be driving their pelvis forwards and backwards. We don't want that. We want this pelvis control. Now, it's all based on colors. So if they can do it, it's green. If they can't, it's red. If we look at the second test, we're looking at upper and lower body separation, starting with the lower body separation, which we're asking the player to separate their lower body from their upper body without then moving the upper body. So with that separation, are they able to do it? We click the green button. If they can't, it's the red. We're looking at upper body separation. So basically, can the player separate their upper body while maintaining a lower body stable? We're looking at toe touch. Can the player go down and touch their toes? And we're also looking at just balance. Can they stand on their right foot for 10 seconds and then can they stand on the left foot for 10 seconds? If they can do that, it's green. If they can't, it's orange or red. Now, if you're doing this with multiple players, it works perfectly. You can do it with multiple players at the same time. You're guiding them through it, and once they're all done, they get their reports and they get their feedback. Now, at Kinexit, we'll give the player the feedback they need so they can improve. If they need room for improvement, let's say they have a lot of red, we'll guide them through what the next step is. If they are a player that have a combination of some green and some red, same thing there. We'll give them the right tools so they can improve their golf game. Now, when it comes to just the process, again, from sharing a membership to starting the screening and then getting over to the reports and then giving them some feedback, this whole process you can easily do within 5 minutes. So you can easily integrate this into a lesson experience without it taking too much time, and you can focus on what you believe is the most important thing and let us handle the fitness side of things. Now, when it comes to the drills, we have over 1,000 exercises in Kinexit, and they range from mobility to stability, strength. Everything's animated, very easy to follow, and it's all based on the player's screening. So if the player has certain limitations, we'll guide them through different drills and make sure that they're progressing nicely. We also have our app and we have our platform that you can utilize anywhere, anytime. You can choose between different programs, different times, different themes, everything the player needs in order to improve. A coach can also send their own videos. It could be technical, it could be drills. Perfect way to incorporate technique and fitness, making sure that they're really moving forward and they get the best of both worlds. Now, how do we package golf fitness? How do we put it all together? So Kinexit is used in multiple different ways. We love the concept of game fitting, where we're integrating technique, fitness, and equipment. And we're using multiple different ways, from packaging to single lessons to trips, you name it, all of the above. To give you some examples, if we work with a player and we're working with them individually, we might be bringing out of our toolbox, we might notice that, hey, the player is quite stiff. We're wanting them to hit the ball in a particular way, but they can't because they're just too stiff. So, perfect way is to maybe bring out a Kinexit tool, do the assessment, give them maybe 7 days to try it out, and that could be a great starter for them to continue on working out and improving their fitness. Now, when it comes to a typical lesson progression or a journey, it all starts with the first lesson. There, what a lot of professionals are doing is they're assessing the player's technique, they're doing the assessment with their fitness, they're looking at what's in their bag, they're asking questions, how can they improve, what do we want them to do, what are their goals, and that then sets the tone for the rest of the lessons. Kinexit will help the player work on drills they need to do in between lessons, so their homework, and then you can focus on what you need to do on the actual lesson sessions per se. Now, when it comes to the actual setup, we have so many different options what we can do. Now, we also have our platform. We have our warm-up membership that's really, really good to just create training culture. How that works is basically a player can scan their QR code, it could be at a driving range, and they scan that and they'll get access to really good warm-up exercises to get their body ready for play. Now, as a Kinexit member or as a Kinexit professional, we want to make sure that you know how to use the platform. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable utilizing Kinexit. So we have training within Kinexit. Here we'll go through some fundamental biomechanics. We'll go through how the platform works, how the screenings work, and how you can package golf fitness with ease into your business. Now, in Kinexit, we have 3 different types of licenses, ranging from 300 up to 1,200 months. Each student month can be used and shared as however you please. You can share it with 1 month. You can share months to several players. You can continuously share months as you progress with players as well. So it's a great add-on, and it's also a great way to add more value to your lesson packages. So what a lot of professionals do is they incorporate Kinexit and golf fitness into their package, they raise their price, and they create a whole or that game fitting option for the player to really, really improve. Now, if you're interested to learn more about Kinexit, feel free to reach out and we're happy to see you on the other side.